Here we go. 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 Alrighty, let's do this. Uh, okay. Let's do this. Time for another punishing Grey Raven stream. Okay.
暗黒にいてもこうなる必要はありません。指揮官を連れて前進します。
And of course I am encountering a different issue. Of course. Bloody hell. Now you finally set everything up, making sure everything is working, and then boom. I have way too many complications streaming. Makes me wonder if it's even worth it in the end. All these annoying complications. Okay. I need to do some fiddling around. There we go. So many complications that honestly it's ridiculous.
こんにちは、指揮官。
This is turned into one very ridiculous stream, I would say. Alright, let's check out. I know it is Comrades United. Let's check out the new event, which you get bond points. And I have no one to invite, so yeah, tactical sets. It doesn't carry over the points to this one. I would say it's more like a waste of money than anything. I've already wasted enough money on this game. Let's see, we've got new events, feed research, do decor, tactical investment, Queens of Dawn, Glimmering Life, Scarlet. Ooh, 2,000 rainbow cards. Sure, it's nice, but I've got rainbow cards, but How much is 2,000? You gotta be joking, right? 2,000? Who in their right mind would spend 2,000? What's an insane bugger would spend 2,000? That's hundreds of dollars. What the hell? Well, let's see what they're spending 2,000 on. Why would they spend 2,000? I mean, that is just absolutely ridiculous. The lady's shoe. Let's just check out the normal moves. Alright. Sure, it's a nice looking skin, but it's not worth $2,000. Not that at all. Why was it cost $2,000? It's ridiculous. Why would someone spend that much money on something so trivial? I mean, I like this game, but really, 2,000? That makes my heart churn thinking about how much money wasted, which could be used for something else. That is just ridiculous. Whoever, if anyone gets that, they're insane. It's not worth $2,000. It's not worth hundreds of dollars. Sure, it looks nice, but for goodness sake. For goodness sake. When spring returns to the garden, flowers blossom brilliantly. The elegant pattern is made from a traditional gold weaving technique. Shu does not have any opportunities to wear this outfit, but she does. It is so ridiculous. I noticed there's a new trial mode in. Oh yeah, that's just, we've got so much Chinese New Year events. 100% Imperium, not yet. Let's see. 600. Get an S rank construct. Stop. Dailies. Never got the day. Because that's pointless to me. So let's have a look. I'm gonna do a comparison. For this coat, for the Scarlet Spring, you spend 2,000. You get a picture, frame, and a dress in all this crap. Then when you just buy 680, that's so yeah, about $30, or spend hundreds of dollars. That is mind blowing. That is such. That's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. Afterglow of Fate. Okay, this is a Shop of Tree of Life. Oh, you can actually buy it. Primordial Crystal. What's the crystal for? Oh, 50 rainbow cards, or 50 of them, and it will get you a weapon coating. Let's see. I want that. Oh, oh. Okay, I want to get the dress, so I get that. And that's the memory. Memories, yeah. Yep. Okay. I know this. It's gonna go up and up. Oh my. Why you must tease me like this? Why you must... Oh, you little bloody tease. Well, at least I got 60 from last event when I was trying to get, Hira. But I'm gonna get my girl. Beautiful live. Let's get her. Let's get her. This is gonna be actually the last construct I'm gonna get. I already got constructs to fight with. Sure, there's gonna be cooler one, well, cool ones and strong ones later on, but I think I'm just gonna work with what I have. No, that's 21. More chance for 21 would be nice. Alright, there we go, more chance of 21. And there's the girl herself. Thanks for coming, Liv. Get all the shards. Of course, then I need a weapon. Also, I never do that. I tried testing that with the beta test to see the probability. The probability is not that good. I didn't realize it's got so many weapon research. Oh, I just realized something. I've got... What's the rules? So I can just do one of these. I'm gonna do weapon research, see what I get. And I get chainsaw. A bunch of stuff. Then I'm gonna do construct research. I'm gonna do one since I've got so much. I've already got all the A ranks. Okay, I got to realize that you've got a lot more than... Because I need to save one lot for a future A rank construct. I one construct which I don't use. Nanami, I don't use Nanami. Nanami is just short. Yeah, I can go again. Because it would be nice to get the ones I don't have. Teneburn, Ember, Glory, and Garnet. So that's 30. Okay, Anakin, this is the last I can do. Let's see who I got. Bianca 0. I've got so many Biancas. 5,000. A little bit easy to get that up. Let's see. Let's lower no shards so much. Shards. Lee. I've awakened Lee so long ago. Really, actually used them. There we go. None of me. Still, Benix 0. She's actually getting closer to triple S plus. That is just ridiculous. Oh look, someone else is also triple S, or a character I don't use. Apocalypse. What a name for a scepter. Yes, I actually got. Well, I started working on a build for her a while ago because I like Liv. Wanted to get Liv. I was thinking either the DPS or just main build. But I'm actually going to do both build types. So yeah, I've got Darwin ready to go and then I got Cody. Then I just need her event stuff. There we go. Just residence her up. Shame I can't pick the upgrade. Actually, this will be a useful one to have for her. I know the plus orb things are not recommended. So, core passive, draw words. Omens, yep. Entering matrix outside of 4 stacks of piece of color of your current available. Interesting. Passive when switched into battle, live a period against 40 signature energy before the of Sagahara Rama. Extra damage. Well, I've got enough to level up right now, but I won't at the moment. Let's get the new leaf. I've noticed I have a bias. There are only 3. I like the women that float. Floating women. Let's see, yes. What are our codings? You know, generic, refined, and final. Very saintly. And finally. Interesting flyers, then they got the special dress, which requires the money, which I will not spending on. Oh, that new sweet. Okay. Get all the cogs, tasty cogs. I've got so many gifts. Alrighty. Actually, what happens if you poker?
無事でいてくれれば私がしてきたことは報われるのです。どうしましたか？ご心配にも及びません。私ならここにいます。どうしましたか？ご心配に
Oh,
も
very
及びませ
sweet.
ん。私ならここにいます。
Okay.
ロシアは
Gifts, biospheres. Just gonna throw them all at her. Let's throw everything. Everything I have. There we go, there we go. Expressions, all the stuff. All the quality stuff. Check the box, precision tools. Alright, there we are.
ええ、とても気に入りました。この生き生きとした光景を見ていると蘇った地球を、そしてあなたと一緒にそこに立つ未来を
Live Imperia, 2
想像
years,
してしまいます。
10th of August. I find it interesting, Liv is the mental age of 16 and yet 21's a mental age of 21. Hang on. No, she's 22. I was about to say. If she's 22. Interesting, she's 22 and Vera's 17. And yet Vera's the senior. Okay, secrets. All the secrets. All the voice lines. That's condition defection number 16.
ええ、とても気に入りました。この生き生きとした光景を見ていると蘇った地球を、そしてあなたと一緒にそこに立つ未来を想像してしまいます。
Everyone's listening to Chinese. Oh, 7 chapters, wow. Shaking.
緊急事態ですか？あなたのいたずらですね、指揮官。
Emergency. Is it a prank, man? Indeed, it was a prank. Achievement. 9 SS rank. That's so much. That is a lot. I haven't actually been doing the operation. Oh, I've done all the operation stuff. Never mind then. Oh. Notice there's some challenges. Specialty patch. Yes, this challenge. I'm gonna save that for the quality stuff. Let's see the rate I spent all before. I can't do that today. I'll do it next time. Okay, quick match. Oh, it's the ribbon game. Dislike. I'm gonna do a Grand Blue. Hell mode. Sounds like that's gonna be a bad idea. Why am I her? I what? They'll try. Okay, I'll just use. Fine, I'll lose Selena. Because I can't use Rosetta. Follow the ribbon and Plumes moves to the finish. I really do not. Oh. Okay. This is quite challenging. Okay. That's difficult. And assuming hell mode is just the fast version. Okay. This is this is weird. It's like Simon Says. I know some people are already good at it. Oh, bloody hell. You need to be really on the buttons. Do I have fun with this? No, I don't really. I don't really like. This is not fun at all. 3 times, become the first one. Yeah, that's totally what I'm gonna be. I guess those will be useful 3 times a day. I want to do it 2 times a day. The challenge modes. Oh, this is the coding trial. Let's see how nice the coding actually is. Off. Alright. Let's do the charge up attacks. Purify them all. Very different how you need to dodge to actually use the attacks. Double dodge. It's not like 21 that just uses just dodge and 3 charge. Purification. How I'm gonna have to get into the mindset of dodging. I just normally just attack, not dodge. So she praises the sun at a different angle. Interesting. Character challenge. Okay. Hang on. There's something. Oh yeah, it's the rewards. Adaption practice. I already went for the tutorial. I don't have time to go for the tutorial again.
最悪はすべて私と共に虚空に返します。
And the orbs. Oh. There we go. It says something about fire damage and I completely utterly ignored it. Hope this does not bite me later on. Hopefully not. Yeah, sure, I hope so. Sure, hope so. I am having a lot of stream delays. Yeah. Why does this say damage to Celica? This is not use Celica, this is live. Do a third charge. It's interesting. Definitely gonna have to learn to dodge. Gonna have to learn to dodge. Oh, character switch. That should be interesting. Curious how that will be like. Well, see how my stream is delayed by about 10 minutes. Better than bloody YouTube, Twitch, which is delayed up to 30 minutes. Twitch is just ridiculous. Advanced combat. Here we go. Here we go. Ah. After dodge. Okay. Alright. Oh. Purification. So purifying it. This is such a unique frame to learn. I'm gonna have to keep on using her in combat to figure out how to properly play with her like I did with Roland, actually with any new character. Already done that. Why is it giving me the little ping ping? Oh. It says clearing. Clear what? Rewards. Is there meant to be other things on the screen? I don't know. Yeah, that's a challenge. Of course, fire. Fire! The one I don't have.
一番手強い相手は私に任せて。わかりました。今まで通りに皆をリードします。
Actually, I'm gonna focus on Furia for this challenge.
最悪はすべて私と共に虚空に返します。道切り開きます。
Oh,
耐えられます。進行すると誰でも勝ってください。これくらいの痛みなら私に任せてください。
oh, the shining remains to show me.
私についてくれる。
I am actually overwhelmed at the moment. Jeez, okay, this is doing poorly.
切り開きます。 苦難はここで燃やし尽くされます。純粋な骨に救いをもたらします。
And I stuffed it up.
怪人から生まれ変わり
This is... Alright, this is actually difficult.
私の刃になってください。
Why is it in a stage where I can't flip and move around? Like it needs fire, but I have this. This is bullshit. That is just ridiculous. Fire. I don't have fire constructs. The only fire ones I have is Ember, which is not really in. The only other good fire construct is actually Lee, and probably not. Really, it's Ember. I'm to just do with my Senate.
私がこのオペラの指揮を。
This is like a comparison.
道具をどう使うのか見せてもらおう。観客の皆様がじっと見てんだ。
Okay, this really is a challenge.
オーバースメンアリアン。私がコーダを捧げてあげましょう。
道具をどう今だ。クライマックス。
I'm just tearing down their shields. I know this is a challenge meant for Imperia, but
道具をどう真の叫びをもっと聞かせて。
oh, I just got my upgrade. Just not doing enough damage because I need fire constructs. This is in fact, this is actually a challenge. I didn't struggle with the others.
はい。
Let's get all my awakened fire ones.
ルシアのおこぼれかよ。
Uh,
隊長の職務をしっかりと全うします。
I'll just have to get good. I was gonna do my story, but
最悪はすべ
I
て
think just too
私と
distracted
共
with
に
his
国民に返
challenges.
します。
Alright.
呼んだか？耐えられます。
This is
私に任せてください。
bull crap.
私を剣の者はすべて
Alright, this is not. This is going horribly.
私と共に出撃します。
I'm just gonna have to use Imperia to do this. I need to remember to do the double dodge.
怪人から生まれ変わります。
Just, I'm sucking so bad. There we go, there we go. That's more like it.
純粋な骨に救いをもたらします。ルシア、出撃します。
Well, at least she can heal, which is would have been worse if I couldn't.
グレーンが先にられて私に任せてください。やばいかも。
Getting stun locked.
最悪はすべて私と共に国民に返します。呼んだか？耐えられます。
And do the charge up attack.
怪人から生まれ変わります。 純粋な呼んだか？ルシア、出撃します。
This is bloody.
塵となって消えるか。
This is ridiculous.
出撃します。 グレーンで全てを
I have no idea what's going on. This stage is so cancerous.
私に任せてください。呼んだか？
It's so ridiculous.
邪魔するな。私に任せてください。最悪はすべて私と共に国民に返します。耐えられます。呼んだか？苦難はここで燃やし尽くされます。希望が
Get blasted, you buggers.
生まれ変わります。
For goodness sake.
耐えられます。
Just get out of my way.
ルシア、出撃します。塵となって消えるか。
Sight so long. I know if I had Ember, this fight will go a lot smoothly.
出撃します。最悪はすべて私と共に国民に返します。 苦難は
Here we go again.
ここで燃やし尽くされます。希望が
Just be purified.
から生まれ変わります。 耐えられます。
This is it. Scuffed.
ルシアン出撃します。
This is.
安らかに眠ってください。普通という名の労働
That was so ridiculous. Clear on 100. I can't clear that in 180 seconds. Theropods. This is just ridiculous. This is just. I'm just gonna have you stare at the screen as they just come back. Okay, dokie, I have returned. I have returned. Okay. Okay. Time to get back to the show. Well, then that was absolutely cancerous. Let's just oh, web locked. Participate. Yeah, I participated alright. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This will be some that I already spent tons of money on it already. It's gonna be painful. Pain, pain, no more pain. I don't know why Evan Knight beat his 15-18 to a lock. I already got 15-8. I can just go, let's see, if I just do... Did it say 15-18? Hidden story? What? There's a hidden... I did not finish it. I did not finish it. I... I can't believe it. Alright, I'm actually gonna come back to that. I I did not realize I did not finish it. Alright, now I'm to start. Some people say that life is born from a mother's suffering, then grows up in the accompaniment of torture and in the extinguished in sorrow. You simply cannot grow up with sorrow, because the gifts of fate are hidden on both sides of the road of suffering. If you wish to receive such gifts, you must step on this road. Alas, there is only what some people say. If you were a baby about to be born or something on the verge of death, faced what is come or was to come or back turned to what they already transpired, what will fill the depths of your heart? Excitement or fear? If you could start over, would you choose this life? What? Is this your first time meeting a stranger who wants a conversation for no reason? No, I never thought about that. I'm just saying you look like someone who thinks something about it. If so, hope you will not regret this decision. You will regret this. 6:20 p.m. Last transport craft here for a rescue mission crashes and causes a massive explosion. A horde of hetero creatures rush out from the dense smoke, declaring their victory and humanity's loss of air superiority. In the wilderness with Lee's help, a survivor drags his broken leg as he struggles to escape their capture. Are you nuts? You shouldn't have come to rescue people. Save your breath. Pick up the pace. Though he is being verbally harsh, he does not stop for a while to let his companion catch up, and seizes that chance to fire bullets at the hetero creatures coming from the sky. It's been over a month since the disaster that happened in Puglia Forest Park ruins. The humans trapped on the surface have to rely on this method to survive. The escape plan you posed is crazy. There's almost no chance for us to... He seems still in shock as he talks to Lee while trembling. Letting Lucia use the external thruster to take care of the power trips, this is just... He gets interrupted by a beep from Lee's terminal, but Lee doesn't look down to check the advice. Instead, he remains vigilant and continues to hunt down the hedgehog creatures that try to get close. Lucia has found the transport vehicle. She's on her way here. How do you know? You didn't even look at it. What if it's a distress signal? She's the captain of Grey Raven. Forget it. After all, if she could survive a battle like that. Alright, let's proceed onward and rendezvous with her. He sighs, then appears to relax ever so slightly. Lee doesn't answer. He focuses his attention on the hetero creatures flying in the sky and continues in the same direction. We need to get them off our tails before we enter the conservation area. They're still coming this way? Of course. You really shouldn't just go charging to the crash site to save people. Now those bastards around the transport crafts are going to go straight for you. You're the reinforcements by Babylonia. You're our comrades. He sighs helplessly for having to state the obvious. These were Lucia's exact words. If Agamemnon was still conscious, the same would surely be said. So I won't leave you behind either. But I heard there aren't enough medical supplies to treat all the wounded in the conservation area. Before we set out, we had already prepared to sacrifice ourselves and recall. Lee stops talking and lets his companion lean on him and makes haste. If we spend too many medical supplies, eventually most slightly injured people won't be able to recover. If the rescue falters, more people will die on the battlefield. We didn't come all this way from Babylonia just to be a liability for bases here on the surface. That's not for you to worry about. We will take you and the other casualty Alicia brought back to the conservation area for a professional evaluation to assess the necessary provisions. You mean that the other member from Grey live? She didn't come here with you? She is staying in the conservation area to help attend the wounded. She's the only qualified medic there now. we aren't able to get a lot of supplies, but we'll at least be able to hold out for a few more days. We had not saved you, we wouldn't have gotten secure the supplies. Wouldn't have gotten secure the supplies. People in the conservation area are still waiting for good news from Babylonian reinforcements. Not to mention, saving lives isn't something that requires hesitation. But our surface reinforcement plan has failed once again. Ooh. That's a lot of names. The list of fallen constructions, the Battle of Puglia Forest Park. Ruins to date is hereby disclosed by popular demand. They held off the disaster of their own flesh and put it away to the destruction of the hetero hive mother. They have shaped the future of Earth. Mankind will remember their sacrifice. It's a lot of names. The prologue of our nightmare finally concludes as the cry of the hetero hive mother echoed through the Puglia Forest Park ruins. The explosion blew the highly concentrated punishing virus around the mother everywhere, covering the entire forest park in the ashes of death. When the magnificent light from the long-lived arsenal finally dissipate, only the charred remains of the hetero hive mother and those hetero sapiens lurking in the forest were left. 439 constructs are still missing to date. So much. Oh look, it's Adolf. But the punishing virus did not just disappear like that, and the Great Fire did not stop the violent hetero creatures and hetero sapiens from running rampant. With the CPFO-040 destroyed, the tower no longer purified the air of the punishing virus, and those things looked to the air, fanning the flames of the already dire situation. Commandant Hans, 041 Conservation Area Staff, Marshal Mo Anderson, Adams, House. Oh. That's it's not good. And a total of 27 stranded personnel within 55 kilometers of the CPF-040. Stranded personnel inside Puglia Forest Park ruins are not calculated. With the CPF-040 destroyed, the tower no longer purified the air of the punishing virus, and those things took to the air, fanning the flames of an already dire situation. Calamities spread like wildfire, and the punishing virus filled the air. To restore life on Earth, we hope the tragedy of the Great Evacuation won't happen a second time. We shall exhaust all of our manpower and transportation capacity to get the victims of disaster to a safe area further away from here. The Babylonian citizens have cast their votes, and we decided to go with this decision. Time is of the essence, if we are to save lives. Strikehawk and Cerberus will lead this rescue operation and deal with the hostile hetero creatures coming from the sky. Move out, team. The first few rescue operations went well. Most Babylonian citizens didn't expect they would have so many strangers here, but quite some lucky ones made it to this place safely. However, calamity ensued shortly afterward. We failed. Many teams reported this last month. They said they saw some hetero creatures with wings that learned how to fly with the help of highly concentrated punishing virus. Now those things swarmed together and attacked our transport craft. This is our last mission report. We lost contact with the elite squad on the other transport craft. Heh. When the residents of Babylon finally decided to cast aside their roars and accept life on the ground, the sky isn't safe anymore. Path is cut off. Where can people run to? There's no way back now. If they request backup, they only repeat our own mistake. Elite team trapped on the surface volunteers to protect the conservation area and hunt down their hetero creatures and hetero sapiens. Boss, I've dealt with the areas I was asked to clean up. But look at this. Doctor furrows his brows in the mission record and points to the red tide behind him. The Hetero creatures are coming back to life in the raging red tide. Then we'll Februarize the red tide too. Three figures in the recording raise their weapons and approach the red tide. However, another signal stops them in their tracks. That's new. This notification is all task force members. Judging by the data we've collected, the red tide shows no signs of stopping. Even if we make the red tide evaporate, the punishing virus will remain in the air. When the punishing virus strikes again and corrupts human bodies, the festive flesh will slowly converge from the new red tide, similar to the liquids those heterosapiens secrete. Be careful not to let the red tide converge, otherwise we have another disaster on our hands. But no need to waste our time on tributaries, they haven't converged yet. These will continue to drain so long there are casualties in the presence of the punishing virus. This is so new. Asimov, do you think we are cleaning the red tide or the dead that became part of it? No one can answer this question. The disaster's dragging us slowly into hell. No place to hide, no path to flee. After the fire in the forest pulley of Park Roans goes out, hordes of hetero creatures emerge worldwide. Overwhelming and unstoppable, they slaughter all living beings that stand their way. Under cascading death, the harm caused by the unidentified twins is actually negligible. A tide of hetero creatures wanders aimlessly through the wilderness, spreading footprints of grief and death through this rotten land. The twins left among the ashes walked toward the west coast, robbing language and knowledge from dead humans and constructs along the way. After arriving at the west coast, instead of crossing the sea, they continued to move northward along the coast. They joined the barrage of hetero creatures in the battle against humans and constructs stationed in the defense zone, resulting in the destruction of the conservation areas in 37 cities, leaving no survivors. When the garrison sensed there was no chance of victory, they had no choice but to resort to avoidance tactics, predicting their action trajectory and withdrawing in advance. These predictions are not always accurate. The enemy sometimes acts separately or stays in the same area for a long period of time, but most of the time the twins in the barrage of hetero creatures explore one city for up to 3 days before proceeding to the next one. In order to avoid getting ravaged and devastated by the approaching barrage, residents from adjacent cities flee in advance. If the residents couldn't flee in time, they had no choice but leave their future up to fate to design. If people choose to leave early because of fear, they will fall into the dilemma of competing for resources with residents of other cities. These hetero creatures are in barrage in every sense of the word, bringing death to the land whenever they inundated. Under such a catastrophe, only one conservation area where the twins passed managed to survive. Only by retreating underground they did not draw the twins' attention. However, when the garrison in the next conservation attempted to opt tactic, they were instead burnt to death underground. These creatures grow in wisdom, learn how to use tools, evolving little by little. However, no one can make a conclusive decision as to whether they have feelings and temperament in the biological sense. Just as humans treat vegetation, they regard humans as their natural resources here on Earth. They pick up lone humans like cherishing the seeds and return them to the crown, although these humans would die of several infection after coming in contact with the punishing virus. Some people have witnessed the twins' harmless appearance. Like appreciating flowers, the twins are soon insert the damaged and broken constructs into the dense red tide and tell them with their chilling voices to become whole again. Before they truly understand their feelings and benevolence, humans cannot rely on communication. They can only escape the twins' tracks before being plundered. At first, in order to avoid the high concentration of punishing virus on the surface, people plan to migrate to the Arctic Route Union, but these creatures begin to venture northward. With the barrage of the twins and the migrating hetero creatures bring danger to the northwest, people begin to turn southeast for refuge. With surface buildings in the conservation area lacking airtight ventilation, CTFs can no longer ensure safety in such high concentration of the punishing virus. Most human beings live in the enclosed basement of the conservation area, living the resources collection rescue operation to the constructs. Even if scavengers are fitted with a full set of protective suits, their movements are hindered by the threat of hitcher creatures. When all the land outside the conservation area becomes entrenched with hidden dangers, supply consumption becomes a new problem. People are in urgent need of rescue, but the transport crafts usually used for rescue end up turning into fuel time and again. We are forced to step into the eternal night of death, and with a different language and bodies, roar as one and afterburn of dawn, in order to retain a few motes of light that remain in this darkness. Total annihilation. However, they're not the greatest threat nor the ultimate fruit born from disaster. This is the road sign. Babylonia, 9:30 p.m. The cold lights once again illuminate in the symbols of the five powers. The gleaming space masks the ageless expression of each council member, allowing the whole to maintain solemnity and unity in front of the camera. In silence, the light representing the will of the people appears on screen as they are arranged. Seeing that everything is ready, Hasten rises and announces the commencement of the meeting. I'm sure everyone already knows the topic of this meeting. During our last meeting, the overwhelming majority voted in favor of escorting all refugees who consent back to Babylonia. These days, we have made considerable sacrifices, but we have not achieved the corresponding results. He raises his hand and leads everyone's eyes to the light blue holoscreen in front of him, which shows a group of rosters and a graph of green data indicating a downward trend. 3 hours have passed since our last failed rescue attempt. After the Forest Park disaster, Babylonia has dispatched 765 transport crafts over 374 rescue attempts to the surface. On day 1 of the disaster, we rescued 587 refugees, a loss of 13 aircraft and 21 pilots and the crew perished. On day 2, 493 refugees were rescued with 7 severely injured, 42 minor injuries, 27 aircraft were lost, and 36 pilots and crew perished. On day 3, 270 refugees rescued with 21 severe injuries. 7 died from their wounds upon returning to Babylonia. 53 aircraft were lost and 71 pilots and crew perished. In order to increase the success of these rescue operations, we dispatched Cerberus and Strikehawk. These elite squads have been able to protect most of the crew during ambushes. However, the hedgehog creatures are becoming increasingly relentless. Even our elite forces are struggling to prevent losses during air transit. The line graph causes sync in front of the camera to the lowest point of the dataset. As shown in the figure, the success rate of our rescue operations continues to decline with each passing day. We have tried various tactics and even resorted to autonomous rescue pods, but there's no obvious change. They are in a state of insurrection, and they will attack anything within range. According to our latest statistics, our success rate has fallen below 3.12% for 12 consecutive days. Cost of these rescue operations in terms of constructs, materials, and transport continues to escalate. Without an intact transport craft, even elite teams currently stranded on the surface are unable to return to Babylonia. The red line indicating the upward trend is overlaid on the green chart, creating an exaggerated X shape. As for whether to continue these rescue operations, I believe you already collected votes prior to this meeting. Yes, Mr. President. According to votes, 50% of the public believe the number of casualties far exceeds the number of those rescues, and those meaningless operations would cease immediately. The lower than anticipated disapproval rating caught many of the council members' attention, causing everyone to begin whispering in the shadow. Only 57%? I assumed the disapproval rate would be closer to 100% given our rosters. The remaining 43% of voters believe that we should continue these operations or at least return the elite squads back to Babylonia. Just all to stimulate both scenarios. With the current tactics, the 6 race will result in a asymptote of 0, or a negative number. Reducing the combat vectors of elite squads, no direct engagement with the twins result in a 97.1% survival rate on the surface. Then it's decided, given these statistics, we will suspend surface rescue operations and prioritize necessary logistics for Babylonia. That being said, we are not abandoning our comrades stranded on Earth. Parliament will urge the task force to modify its tactics as soon as possible to improve the success rate and make a second rescue attempt. With the meeting adjourned, Hasten is joined in his office by an unexpected guest. He discusses an expected topic. I noticed this problem too. Compared with the researching how to change rescue tactics, Corona will be more inclined toward a full evacuation. They garnered less support than expected this time. It's good news. This also means your desire to make a second rescue attempt do not fall on deaf ears. After a moment of contemplation, Hasten raises his hand again. He projects a video recording onto the screen. Have you seen this? Lucia, Captain of Grey Raven, issuing a mission report to HQ. We have successfully cleared the hetero creatures from the Puglia Forest Park ruins and fully evacuated outside of the corruption zone. There is a high level of punishing concentration here to due to the large presence of hetero creatures. According to the information we have received, the surrounding areas are the same except in the direction leading to the ARU. However, we are unable to escort this many refugees by foot, nor does the ARU have enough supplies to sustain such a high influx of refugees. After we confirmed that the twins headed north towards the west coast, we took the commandant and 67 humans to the basement in 043's conservation area. We have enough supplies here to sustain us for 15 days. Requesting immediate aid. TSL is still MIA. Commandant Vanessa and Banita from Egret are also with us. They suffered some injuries, but they are no longer in critical condition after being treated by Liv. She pauses for a second. As for Commandant Zod, we just re-rendezvoused with Liv. She's more qualified to issue a report. She points to the terminal at Liv. Fortunately, the Commandant's abnormal wound didn't affect any vital organs. However, during the evacuation, the Commandant suffered a serious head injury, leading to brain trauma and subdural hematomia. After we moved to the conservation area of 043, we used the medical facilities here to perform a craniotomy on the Commandant and remove the hematoma. When we were searching for a conservation area to operate in, we were delayed after being attacked by a barrage of hetero creatures. Now, the situation isn't looking good. The Commandant's in a coma and battling an infection. The medical equipment here is less than ideal and most of the medical supplies have been taken away. If this continues, the Commandant may face septic shock. Hopefully we can bring the Commandant back to Babylonia for treatment, but based on the current safety concerns in transit, I'm afraid that even if we make it back, the turbulence will only cause secondary injuries to the Commandant. We need immediate medical relief, whether that be for the Commandant or the injured residents here in 043's conservation area. That's our current setup rep. Please send support as soon as possible. Lucia's recording cuts out. This is the mission report received after they just retreated from Puglia Forest Park ruins. We dispatched more supplies to the port to provide emergency relief, but Vlad shows no signs of improvement. The return ceremony of Atlantis gave people hope and made them care for heroes. After the fire in Puglia, people want to know Grey Raven's whereabouts. I think it's an appropriate time to disclose their current situation. We suffered heavy casualties this time. Commander Harley Joe and Yaita barely made it back to Babylonia with Simon in a coma. They're still at the Star of Life, and Simon has yet to regain consciousness. Egret and numerous other constructs are still stranded on the surface. If even Grey Raven Sword has suffered such serious loss, there will be a huge blow to the people's confidence in victory. At that point, I'm sure even more people will be in favor of abandoning the rescue effort. If we don't inform the people, they will only turn to rumors. Sometimes acceptance is more helpful for us to overcome difficulties. But surely we approach this in a more delicate manner. What if I say I wanted to use this as the bargaining chip of Corono? You mean the Omega file? Correct. According to the Science Council report, the Omega prototype is complete. It has the ability to absorb the punishing virus, but the effect is limited. Given the information in the report, it seems that I can't actively capture the Punisher virus. However, it can still absorb it by coming into contact with the virus. Considering its current form, even if we devote all resources to mass production, it's going to be difficult to achieve the desired effect. However, we can direct large quantities of the Punisher virus to the Omega prototype. It may be able to achieve a vastly different effect. Alkin constructs absorb the Punisher virus. Isn't that a characteristic reserved for acids? You aren't thinking of joining forces with Corona, are you? The Science Council stole a portion of Corona's R&D through its counterintelligence program. They're using ascended data to develop a specialized frame. If Asimov can confirm the Omega weapon's capability with this new frame, we can use the current situation to discuss it with them. Heavy rains on a gloomy afternoon. Grey Raven has already been stranded on the surface for over a month. During this time, Liv has been meticulously caring for Zod and showed no signs of regaining consciousness. The rain outside the basement was gradually washed away by the coagulated blood on the streets. Absent of humans, the ruins are now only filled with corrupted hedgehog creatures lingering aimlessly. Before the abandoned CPF Survey and the Poliovirus Park were set ablaze, people noticed that the punishing concentration is suddenly rising with the appearance of the red tide. At that time, people simply attributed this phenomenon to the retro core and the red tide. They believed this was the manifestation of the punishing virus as it culminated and evolved, not they were culprits. Nobody was aware of a much greater disaster silently looming in the distance. They only targeted the red tide, thinking it was limited, their problems would be solved. Thus they used the known-as arson to obliterate the red tide and its monstrosities. However, the punishing virus still remained, and nothing could dissipate it. Their efforts were akin to evaporating a stream, the condensation of which only returned to the air. The airborne punishing virus was then absorbed by the mother, and would have been an overflowing punishing concentration similarly fell, during which is this time to breed yet another disaster. With the CPF 040, the Puglia Forest Park reduced to ruins, the punishing virus trapped. Ravin was released into the world, further fanning the flames of the world already at its limit. In this vast Red Sea, the emergence of humanoid creatures only indicate the further evolution of the punishing virus. Creatures, however, they're not the greatest threat, nor then the ultimate fruit born from this disaster. Today, the hotbed known as the Red Tide continues to sow its seeds across the land, as it marches onward over bloodstains, both new and old, in the joyous pitter-patter of rain. Humanity, how the children of earth have fallen. Now they are cast adrift like a ship without sails, huddling in the narrow cabins they call the conservation areas and praying to the CPFs for the minuscule protection they provide. Conservation Area Basement, 9:30 p.m. Right as the Council in Babylonia is deliberating over the suspended rescue, humanity on Earth eagerly waits for good news in an enclosement basement. Several days have passed since the last received aid, food, and medical supplies dwindled right before their eyes. However, for the people in any conservation area, stepping out to the enclosed basement and returning to the old ways as scavengers means certain death. They have no choice but to remain in the conservation area under the protection of the constructs. Didn't they say supplies are on the way? How much longer we gotta wait? In the echoed basement, filled with a stench of decaying flesh, a haggard refugee suddenly shouts at his partner. Who knows? Maybe they failed again. His companion seems less anxious, stroking the old guitar as he plucks at its strings. How can you play that finger like this, Zack? What else can I do? Huh. All we have our own ways of handling stress. Want me, to take it out on you, oh yeah. A young refugee named Chuck swings weakly as he strums along with each word, but this only ignites the last ounce of reason in the other residents, who begins to yell at him angrily. Had I known it was going to be like this, we should have evacuated while we still had a chance. Hearing the sudden outburst, Liv looks up anxiously from beside the patient she's attending, and watches him out of the corner of her eye. If it hadn't been those damn corrupt and those hetero whatevers pursuing the transport crafts, wouldn't have been out of here already. I told you. You We shouldn't have left earlier, but no. You were too much of a chicken shit about it crashing on the way back to Babylonia. Babylonia's finally sent rescue and we missed the boat. But didn't it end up crashing anyways? Was that just be paranoid? Well, now was I? Now, not to mention those constructs got in the parties. Their commander didn't go on it either. Didn't you hear it? Their commander's head can't handle the turbulence. I was just thinking. We wait a few days or two it's safe, then go back to their commander. I was expecting to get to worse. Then what are you going on about? We stay here, we die. We go to the spacecraft, we die. That's all we've got to live for now. What the hell are you talking about? You already made it out of the danger once already. Conservation area in Polar Forest was a damn death trap. The whole place was blown to smithereens. Kaboom! He jumps out of bed and mimics the explosion in the ruins. Can't you see? With the punishing concentration as high as it is, even the refugees living out in the wilderness are finding to enter the conservation areas. Just look at that guy with the guitar. But despite all that, we're still alive. And we're gonna keep on living. Despite Chuck's angry glare, he shakes the other resident excitedly as to cheer himself up by shouting. Alright, I'll go find some other place to play. Where is else to go down here? Jack doesn't respond, instead he just quietly grabs his cutter and proceeds further into the basement. You still got this much energy to shout? Give me some of your rations tomorrow. He pushes them away and sighs quietly, grabs his injured leg and struggles to adjust his posture. And if you don't got any, then don't we still have protective gear here? What's that gonna do? That head wound you got on the way here must have given you a concussion if you think that's gonna help us kill those monsters. I just want... His voice suddenly withers. Notice that he's in dejected mood. The middle-aged man sits up and pats him on the back. It was just a scrap CPF 100 kilometers away that was blown up. That's all. Nothing serious. It'll be alright. If it was just that, then why the hell are we stuck here? Aye. Are you already on the verge of a mental breakdown? The man begins to sob as a panic sets in. Hey, don't cry. You'll be alright. Doctor my head wound. Has the wound opened up again? I'll be right with you. Thanks. You haven't had any shut-eye the past few days, have you? Constructs don't need sleep, but I can still keep going for a few more days, but you need more rest, and I'll stop irritating your wound. It just hurts and itches at the same time. I can't help myself. The middle-aged man gazes up, leave dark circles around his glossy eyes. Hey, snot-nosed brat, tell me, how many days have we been here? His fatigue and unclear questions gets lost in the surrounding noise, yielding no response. Sinking island. All night passes, Lucia Lee brought back the construct wounded in the rescue attempt back to the enclosed basement in the conservation area. After Liv performed basic maintenance, he recovered most of his ability to participate in a new rescue mission. Unable to return to Babylonia, the constructs have been entrenched in a war of attrition. Issues caused by damage to their frames and lack of maintenance chambers are beginning to wear on them. People are still huddled in the cold and damp basement of the conservation area, craning their necks and waiting for a sound from the outside. They look forward to the new development, whether that be news of the punishing concentration decreasing, rescue, or supplies be arranged on their own conservation area, or the newly rescued refugees be sent to another conservation area. So long as no more refugees would come, any news is eagerly awaited. But disappointment was accompanied by hunger and sickness for 164 people crowded in this enclosed basement. In addition, there rested 10 constructs and 2 commandants. Aside from the 3 constructs in the commander's vault of Grey Raven, Babinita and Commander Vanessa of Egret, 6 remaining constructs were the only few survivors of previous rescue attempts. Of these 6 constructs, all but 2 are seriously injured. The other 4 had already recovered mobility under Liv's care. They had joined in search and rescue attempts in the surrounding area, but as time passed, fewer and fewer refugees could be found. All of the active units on the west coast have been searched. Day 2, 6 a.m. After the second rescue attempt by Babylonia. Lee has returned from the search and rescue mission with 2 constructs. Seeing all the people sleeping in the basement, he lowers his voice. He stands out the sealed door and shakes the rain off his frame and hands 2 small boxes to the construct in front of him. This is all the supplies we could find. Place it in storage for now. Yes, sir. The shear still hasn't completed her mission in 044. I'm going to help her. What's the situation? The conservation areas along the west coast have all been completely destroyed. All of them? Yes. Just like Vanessa had predicted, twins have nothing but destruction in their wake as they go on up the west coast. During this period, they walked from Pulia Forest to the west coast and up north and stayed several days near the ARU. Instead of entering the ARU, they redirected their route to the southeastern coast, that is, the Pulia Forest Park roads, and returned here. At present, the twins have arrived near 041. If they choose to return to Pulia Forest, it should bode well for us, considering that 043 isn't near 040. If they decide to enter 042, the next target might be here. So once Alicia comes back, we need to make a plan quickly. Are there any survivors in any of the cities along the west coast? Not many. Only 3 or 2 of which I brought back. The other one went to another conservation area looking for a friend. 2 adolescent boys stand behind him, one of which is holding a cane and his leg badly corrupted, and the other appears weak but seems otherwise healthy. His corruption appears serious. Looks like he needs serum. Well, there is still some serum in the initial supplies, but there's only one room left in the basement. Follow me. What about matches? The adolescent boy imitates the tone of their voices and keeps his voice down. Matches? Behind you. Before you could be heard, a furry figure crowded into the door. Though its fur is dirty, it looks frail. They see it's a border collie. Matches. The boy lets out a sigh of release and he pets his fluffy head. Thanks for letting me bring me here. If there's anything you need me to do... No. Thank you for bringing... Oh, no. Thank you for bringing food. The other boy beside him gives a resentful sneer, waking up several people lightly sitting beside him. Look up curiously at the door. Matches is my family. No one can eat him. Yeah. You're willing to starve people for the sake of your family. The boy strides into a room with a fake smile and nods to the curious person beside the bed. Hey, bro, wanna hear something funny? That kid was teaching his dog to drive a car on the way over here. He raises his hands and acts like he's holding a steering wheel as he continues on. Matches! This goes left, this goes right. Cool, huh? We just need to find a car. Amused, the tired refugee looked at the boy and his dog and burst out laughing for a moment. Everyone cheers up a bit in the dull basement, but the jokester quickly stops laughing. Thank you for your hospitality, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't bring many supplies. The boy seems accustomed to dealing with refugees. By cracking a joke and greeting everyone, he seems to quickly resolve the crowd's hostility to the loss of another share of their rations. What's the situation outside? Everything's destroyed from the park ruins to the west coast. Hearing this, the refugees begin murmuring to one another. Because of those 2 things? And a ton of those hedgehog creatures. We were ducking and hiding behind every corner all the way here. Well, since it appears the west coast is pretty much destroyed, who knows where those 2 things will go next. The refugee hands him a thumb-sized biscuit. Yeah, take this. Thanks for the news. Those constructs exchange intel with each other every day, and they refuse to tell us anything. I'm going to help Lucia. Seems like she's in predicament. I leave you in here in charge. Liv ways to live and steps out with several constructs fit to move. Okay, I'll have everything under control. Be careful. The officer staying in the room next door says she has some information, but it will only cause us to lose all hope, so she doesn't want to talk about it for the time being. What's the point of that? How can we be any more hopeless? We've been conducting reconnaissance missions in the surrounding area, but nothing has changed. We will let everyone know right away if the situation begins to improve or if there's any danger. She did not say anything more. She walks to another boy to lead him in a room deep inside the tent. Thank you. Just as they're about to cross the room, the boy had just eaten the biscuit and suddenly speaks. Oh yeah, just let everyone know. Be sure to guard your rations. Everyone, know what happened to our supplies in the warehouse when our conversation area was destroyed? Hey, I didn't do anything. Chill out, I'm not talking about you. After all, if you went into the warehouse, you would have more than your leg corrupted. I mean his dog. His dog ate a bunch of cans before those constructs could go in and recover our supplies. That might even ate the supplies my friend gave his life for. Now I'm stuck here. That's not true. I just didn't do it. A person was trapped in there. When the constructs went to bring out the supplies, they just said there were 2 bodies and a bunch of empty cans in there. What if they ran in and ate the supplies and died from the high concentration of punishing virus? Everyone knew that going to the warehouse was certain death. Well, they were so starved they didn't even care if they died. I think they just rushed in the warehouse to stop the dog. I don't know why they ran in there, but Matches and I didn't take any of the supplies, we just... Hey, kiddo. The refugee who appears to be the leader steps out of the shadow corner and approaches the boy. I don't argue about whether your dog ate the cans or not, they're already gone. Talking about isn't going to do anything. I just want to ask, how many supplies did you bring? I'm sorry, but I didn't bring any. Then what are we would do about your dog? His were like a command, turning everyone's laughter into solemn silence. They grimly stared at the boy's flushed and invasive eyes. In other words, if you want to stay here, and you want to feed your dog with our supplies, right? Sorry, I'll feed him myself. How are you going to do that? Don't have any protectors. Your leg is wounded. If you think you can do that by yourself, you would say that now. Then who's to stop you when you offer our supplies in the middle of the night? Make him leave. We can't even feed ourselves. What are we going to do to get food to feed a dog too? Yeah, I'm starving. Even took my friend's supply. The boys crying, night's grief and despair piled up by the crowd of the many days. They all stand up one another regardless of the injuries. We just can't keep taking refugees. We don't have enough food to get enough through the day. The refugees keep coming and we're going to starve to death. Damn kid, don't blame us for not welcoming you with open arms, but if I can't feed myself, then what makes you think you can share our food? We've had enough despair and salvation, selfish brat. And you think we need to feed your dog? Why don't we barbecue your dog and give you a pack of biscuits as a thank you? Don't you think about it. The timid boy suddenly raises his voice. Matches is my family. Family? You can still food to feed your family? Yamasuni tenses up as either side refuses to back down. Hey, they're about to fight. Don't worry about it. The leader will break it up if they do. I can leave if you want. Or let you hurt him. Alright, scram, you worthless brat. I'm already being kind enough as not to punch you in your face in. He stands up and grabs the boy by the collar and kicks away Matches who rushes over to protect him. Seeing that there's going to be a conflict in the crowd, Liv, who has always been gentle, puts down her medicine and puts herself between the boy and the angry mob. Oh, you want to protect this Miss Doctor? He said it was his family. Ha ha ha, family, what are you talking about? Is it this dog world? Plundering is the only way to live. Here we go again. Quinn's spreading out that nonsense again. Just let him go crazy. These constructs will put him in his place when they've seen enough. Put who in whose place? Now that her teammates are gone, she's only stuck here. Can't even move her with her leg broken. What's a construct like you gonna do? I show you the law of the jungle and the only truth. We need to kill that dog in order to survive. You're right about that battle, but this isn't a battle we should fight. Doesn't matter. If I wanna, I will sacrifice my own family. I don't think a dog is gonna stop me. Liv stops arguing and says she looks directly at the middle-aged man standing before her in silence. Babylonian scum. He spits angrily, rolls up his worn gloves and swings that haymaker at Liv, but all it does to make her take a step back with her broken leg. That's all you Babylonians are good for. Bullying a wounded doctor, Quinya. It's embarrassing. The refugee referred to as Quinya begrudgingly swallows his retort, and glaring at Liv, he rolls down his sleeves and holds his red fist in the other hand, and sits down in the corner of his angry look on his face. Yeah, that's like a bad idea, because he ends up just damaging himself more. No matter where they come from, these constructs, especially this doctor with her leg injury, saved us and even taken us for so many days. If the law of the jungle ruled the world, you wouldn't deserve to be saved. The punishing virus would have turned into a piece of rotten meat to be fed to this dog. Quinn grits his teeth and shakes his head. You brought this upon us. Yes, but I don't want to cause a dispute. I just want to ask this doctor and that boy, do you have any way to convince anyone? Crown's guys shifts back to the boy and his family. I'll just take my share and split it with Matches. We won't steal anything, I promise. You can quarantine me if that makes anyone feel better. Well, since you say so, I'm willing to believe you. You don't need to be quarantined, not like we have the space anyway. I accept your proposal. What does everyone else think? Underground is silent. No one raises any objections. Then it's settled. Bagonia, come with me for a moment. What's your name? Since the food shortage cannot be fixed, she can at least do something that is within her power. She pats the boy on the shoulder and gently leads him to the room. My name's Stanley, and this is Matches. Wolf. Border Collie gives a gentle yip as a greeting and follows Stanley into the room. Thank you for being so kind to me, Miss Construct. Don't worry about it. You can call me Liv. Thank you, Miss Liv, and to your friend for saving me and bringing Matches along. Sorry all the trouble I caused. So much I can do, but if you think of anything, he bows humbly and carefully thanks Liv once again in fear of saying something wrong. Everything's fine, don't worry. It takes a lot of courage to look after that little guy in a place like this. Not to mention, you and the Matches have already had your fair share of hunger and suffering. I'm sure you guys can tough it out just a little longer. Woof. Is your leg okay? I've patched it up, but we don't have enough supplies for me to fully repair it. Alright. She takes out a tattered bag stained with blood. Inside it contains a dry military rations. This was supposed to be for our commandant, but the seal was broken during the retreat. It's about to expire. Mind if I give it to Matches? Really? Thank you so much. But your commander doesn't need it? Appears so for now. Hope your commander gets well soon. Me too. Sensing Liv's sadness, Matches wags his tail and tries to lick her hand. Don't. Matches. Stanley quickly pulls Matches back. She's a doctor. She needs to keep her hands sanitized. There's not enough supplies for that. Can't be a burden on them. Matches' perkly ears, head droops slightly as if it understands. It's okay, don't worry. The boy's appears skittish, likely due to frequently being ostracized. Seeing Liv take out a bandage and disinfect it, the boy rolls up his hand, exposing a festering wound from the corruption, and begins helping Liv. Is the boy's personality because of Matches? Stanley, if the situation continues to get worse, what are you going to do? He looks down in silence. I get what you mean, Miss Liv. I know animals can't be corrupted by the... Well, I didn't notice this. Animals cannot be corrupted by the Punisher virus, but they can be carriers. I never knew about that. So, it corrupts humans and machines. So I thought about releasing Meshes into the wild, but he's already used to living with humans even before I met him. If I let him go, the next time he sees another human, he might get attacked again. I know I'm being selfish, but I need Matches by my side. He's the only thing keeping me going. So I'm just keeping him with me. If I ever run out of spies, I'll abandon myself, not Matches. Do you even realize what you just said? Thank you, Miss Liv. No choice but to immerse themselves in daily life. In order not to open up old wounds and delay the pain, Liv refrains from pushing the question. She just adeptly disinfects and bandages Stanley's wound and injects him with serum. As long as there's something that can be improved, that's the best consolation at this moment. Your corruption won't get any worse as long as you stay here in the enclosed basement. And so, since you aren't willing to let Matches go, you need to keep living. Got it? Don't be going around saying you'll abandon yourself so casually. It's just like you said, you depend on Matches, and Matches depends on you. Okay. Mentioning Matches, the boy's voice becomes softer. He thinks Liv again, snuggles up with Matches and quickly falls asleep. Well, I'm actually gonna leave that there for today. Oh no. Yeah, don't worry about it, Liv. That's why I'm gonna cut the stream here today. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be streaming again. I think I'm going to use the time where I normally stream and focus on making videos. That's my muse. So, I'll be seeing you all next time. Whenever that be. See you in the future.